Everyone, and welcome to the Icehouse webinar. Today we have Jo Clayton with us, who is a facilitator at the Icehouse and leads our Leaders Exchange program, which is a 2-day program. So today we are discussing all things LX, Leaders Exchange, and we have a bit of a Q&A with Jo. So thanks, Jo, for being with us today.
Thanks, Bryar.
And we'll crack into it with our first lot of questions. Awesome. First things first is, who is Leaders Exchange LX for?
So Bryar, it's open to any past participants of LDP, and it's an opportunity for them to engage with the Icehouse. This is the second time we've run the program, and interestingly, we've had some people attend who just completed LDP the year before. We've had others attend after an 8-year hiatus where they haven't had anything to do with the Icehouse, but they're keen to reinvigorate themselves and to re-engage. I think the feedback I got from the participants is that it's people that are looking to really challenge themselves in terms of the next steps for themselves and their businesses. And so the other interesting thing is that we've had in the couple of programs we've run already, quite a number of businesses where 2 people have attended. So they will have done different LDP programs, but they've come together, and it's been very powerful for them to be able to then take that learning back to their business and then kind of hold each other accountable for that. So that's pretty interesting.
Yeah, that's great. It is interesting. Bounce off each other. Nice. Cool. The next question is, so what is your involvement in Leaders Exchange?
So I, just like the LDP program actually, Bryar, I curate the content. So I design the program and I also facilitate quite a number of sessions on the program. So what I've tried to do is to sort of build on what's been covered during the LDP program and sort of bring quite interesting and relevant people to put in front of the team. But it's very similar in style to our other Icehouse programs. So a lot of facilitated discussions, some presentations on topics that they're really interested in, and then a lot of discussion time so they can think about, so people can think about how to take the learning back to their own businesses. And a key part of this program, just like the LDP program, of course, is the interaction that goes on with the participants. So they learn a lot from one another, just like they do in the LDP program. So it's my job to create an environment and some well-curated content that gives people a shot in the arm that they're looking for when they come to Leaders Exchange.
Great, that's good. And I love that it's got that people element too, that they may have met a bunch of people on Leadership Development Program, LDP, and now it can be a whole new set of people that they can connect with and bounce off.
Yes, indeed. But the interesting thing is that because they've all had that same experience on the LDP program, they are instantly comfortable when they come into the room because of that shared experience, and they love coming back into the Icehouse environment. And so people are just ready to open up straight away and, you know, really get into the program and contribute, as well as take learnings for their own leadership in their own company.
Great, that's awesome. Next question, what do people get from the program?
Well, the feedback's been pretty humbling, to be fair, on the twice that we've run the program already. Some of the sorts of comments that people make is that it's just fantastic to step out of the day-to-day running of their business. We all get caught up in that and things get really busy, and just to reflect on their leadership and on their progress within the business. A lot of people commented that they've really liked the tools that they've been able to take away to apply back at work. There's been comments around the content itself, you know, really loving the variety of speakers and facilitators, and comments like really fresh, really engaging content. And people seem to find it very, very informative and very relevant to what they're up to. And my favourite quote from a person that did the program last year was, "The overall aspirational lift of a course where everyone is like-minded is massive." And so people just feel it's a real shot in the arm for them, and gives them a really good reset to go back to work with.
Great. I mentioned at the start it's 2 days. Is that 2 days back to back, or 2 days spread across different weeks or months?
It is 2 days back to back, and it's a pretty full-on program. In fact, you know, I have had feedback that there's quite a lot of content in there. We've have them for 2 days, so I'm trying to get as much in front of them as possible and as much variety as possible. But yeah, it's just a 2-day program, and so far we've held them in Auckland.
Great, awesome. The next question is, how long does Leaders Exchange go for? I think we just answered that one, didn't we? 2 days.
Yeah.
2 days back to back. Awesome.
2 days back to back, yes.
Cool. And the next one is, what is the difference between Leadership Development Program and Leaders Exchange?
Well, the Leadership Development Program is a foundational program. It's quite a long program. It's spread over 7 days and 3 months for people to attend. So the Leaders Exchange, is open to alumni of that program. So they, already have experienced the Icehouse. The format and style is quite similar to LDP, so quite relaxed, lots of content, lots of reflection time, lots of fun and banter, you will be surprised to know. And as I said earlier, people are just instantly comfortable when they come into the space. It builds on the content of the LDP program though, and what I mean by that is it reflects sort of the 3 circles we always talk about at the Icehouse, the sort of the you in the business and the business itself. So we do have content that's aimed at each of the 3 circles, and I think that's kind of how I try to build the connection between this program coming back and the initial experience that people have had within the Leadership Development Program.
Great. So correct me if I'm wrong, but those that did our Owner Manager program, this isn't for them. Is that right? It's alumni of LDP.
Yeah, it's just alumni of LDP. We do have another program, as people will probably be aware, called OMX, which is an exchange for people that are alumni of the Owner Manager program. This is specifically for people who are alumni of the Leadership Development Program.
Great. Wow, the last question we have is, how can I sign up for Leaders Exchange?
Well, if people are looking for any more information about the program, I'm happy that people contact me directly. Everybody who's done LDP also knows Raewyn Goodwin at the Icehouse, and I'm sure that she'd welcome a call or any emails. Alternatively, people can speak to their customer growth partner who looks after their region, depending on where their business is based. And so get in contact with that person if you know who they are. And the other thing, Bryar, that people might be interested in is that some people have managed to access funding towards attending the Leadership Exchange from the regional growth partners. Of course, are spread around. So that might be something for people to consider if their business maybe is not in the best space. A lot of businesses have been through a lot of stress and trauma over the last year for obvious reasons. And so if people are needing some help, they might like to choose to do that as well. So those are sort of the ways to do that. There is a brochure that we can send out, which has got a bit more information on the program. But as I say, contact myself or Raewyn. We'll be more than happy to talk to you if you're interested in finding out more about the program. We can also, of course, link people up with other people who have already attended the program if they're interested in finding out a bit more about it from a colleague.
Yes, that's great. Awesome. Great, Jo. That's very true. We'll also pop a link to the website which covers more about this program in the show notes. So make sure you can click on that link too and read up more about it. And we'll also be having a podcast coming out soon with some people that have been on Alex. So that will be really great to be able to hear their stories, their experiences, and how Alex helped them build on what they learned at LDP, our Leadership Development Program. So thank you, Jo, for joining us today and chatting all things Alex.
Thanks, Bryar, and hopefully I look forward to seeing lots of alum attend the program.
Yep, definitely, for sure. Cool.
Cheers.